want to look at the part of completing the square method under quadratic equations. But on the first thing, what we're going to do is we're going to derive the quadratic formula. For example, there can be a question in this format to say, given that a quadratic equation is ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0, we want to show that this x which we can find can be given as negative b positive or negative the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. How do we show that? So the only way that can be shown or that can be driven, it is us having the knowledge of how to complete the square method. Okay, so now the same process, the same steps we're going to make in deriving the value of x. It is the same method and the same step we're going to be solving every quadratic equation using the completing the square method. So we'll start. Solution. So number one, we know that it is ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. That's the equation we have. We want to find the value of x. First step, step number one, make c to be on the right side of the equation. So we're going to make c to be on the right side of our equation. It means that c should cross over and go to the other side because it is the only constant value without the x in this case. So we're trying by all means to find the value of x. So since c is the only constant value without the x, so c can cross over to the other side. So when c crosses over to the other side, I'm going to have ax squared plus bx to be equal to what? Negative c. We are okay? Second step, make the coefficient of x squared to be 1 by dividing through by a. So we're going to make the coefficient of x squared to be 1. How can that be achieved? By dividing through by a. So it means that the whole expression here we're going to divide throughout by a so that the a can be deleted, and the only thing I need to see, the coefficient of x squared should be 1. I'm sure you understand by the term coefficient. The coefficient of x squared, we're talking about the constant value attached to the x squared. So we're talking about the coefficient of x squared and not the coefficient of x. So there are two variables here, x squared and x, but we're trying to emphasize on the coefficient of x squared first, to say make sure that the coefficient of x squared is 1. So the only way that can be achieved, it is to make sure that we divide throughout by this a. So therefore, dividing throughout by this a, x squared plus bx equal to negative c. If I divide this is divided by a, divided by a, divided by a, what am I going to have? This goes, I'm going to have x squared plus b over ax is equal to negative c over a. This is the new equation I'm going to have. We are okay? So now, what is the third step? The third step now is going to come from an understanding of, this is step 2, step 3. The third step is, we're going to simply say, half the coefficient of x. Now, in the second step, we're talking about the coefficient of x squared, but this time around, we're talking about the coefficient of what? X. Half the coefficient of x. Half the coefficient of x. By halving the coefficient of x is, get the coefficient of x, multiply it by 1 over 2. After doing that, we're going to say, then square the outcome. Then square the outcome. So now, if that is the information we have on step number 3, Looking at step number 3, let me just erase this part, top part. I'm sure we've captured the step 1 and step 2. I'm going to just rub in the top part. So we are simply saying half the coefficient of x. So the coefficient of x is b over a. So if I half this, halving b over a means b over a multiplied by 1 over 2. This would be b over 2a. We are getting it? So after halving it, we're being told then square the outcome. Squaring it, we're going to have b over 2a squared. This is the outcome we have. B over 2a squared. Don't be quick to simplify this. Take it the way it is. We're now going to go to step 4, where we're going to simply say add b over 2a squared to both sides of the equation. Which equation are we talking about? Remember the equation we had? We had this equation, x squared plus b over ax to be equal to negative c over a. I want to add this guy on both sides. So I'm going to say plus b over 2a squared, even this